So just looking at some other statistical metrics that have been provided to us by the most recent reports, and this is from the January reporting, and the February report just came out, so there is some updated information, but a couple of key things that we want to look at. We want to look at the waterfall effect, and that's one of the things that it's really all of the lenders and servicers should be following. And we see that the first step in that waterfall effect is the interest rate reduction. So the way that some of these services are getting to the permanent modification is by using the interest rate reduction. 100% of the permanent modifications have had some form of interest rate reduction. 42% have had a term extension, and about 27% have had a principal forbearance. So, and as we see these numbers in the February report still staying consistent, we are seeing a little bit more of an uptick in the principal forbearance. That's getting closer to 28%. And the term extension is down a little bit below that 41%. So one of the other things that we see that the ratios are one of the things that are really being impacted in the permanent modifications. Before modification, the back-end ratio on these loans was at 76%, which we know is at a ridiculous level. That is talking purely about not being able to afford your home. But after the modifications, we see that it's reduced closer to 59%, closer to 60% on our back-end ratios, which of course is our housing plus the rest of our debts. And one of the ways that this program was set up was any debt-to-income ratio on the back end that exceeds 55% is going to require additional counseling before the modification can be made permanent. So, Cora, we really see that the counselor's job is really as vital as ever. Even as things go forward, there's such a need for the counselors to be involved in this process.
Absolutely. That 59.7%, John, also speaks to the fact that there may be some opportunity for the counseling agencies to be able to bill Florida Housing Finance Corporation for a level 4A or 4B, because what is going to happen is that if the back-end ratio is higher than 55 or 55 or higher, that the lender is going to be required to then send that client over to a counseling agency for counseling. So make sure when that consumer comes to your shop or call your shop that you ask them to please bring that letter, because in order to bill for the 4A or 4B, you really need that letter to show that a referral was made by the lender.